Hello everyone, welcome back to Enter the Internet. I'm your host Jordan, and as always I'm joined by my co-host Cold Beer. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I am doing great because Nintendo finally announced the Nintendo Switch 2, and apparently that's what they're going to be calling it, the Nintendo Switch 2. I feel like they might change, I don't know. Nintendo has never called anything the sequel. It's always been Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color.
Super Nintendo? Maybe Super Switch?
Super Switch? Yeah, and GameCube, maybe a Switch U? I don't know.
No.
But yeah, they finally announced it today. I haven't watched anything on it. I just saw that they announced it today. I wanted to watch the video live with my brother Cold Beer here. Again, have you seen anything? Have you watched anything on this at all today yet?
No, you messaged me on Discord and I wanted to watch the video, but I figured I'd save it to watch it here.
All right, well, without further ado, let's jump right into this. So many fucking...
What's going on in there?
What?
That light!
Oh, the red.
Let's see what the Switch 2 looks like. OG Switch.
It looks the same. Oh,
Slimmer. Oh,
bigger screen, slimmer so far.
USB-C. I think, yeah, the first one is USB-C too.
That's two USB-C ports. Look at that.
Oh, one on top, one and on bottom.
That's a nice change.
Oh, it folds all the way back.
Very flexible.
You is flexible.
So there were a lot of leaks that were out. The leaks kind of seem pretty accurate, actually. The Joy-Cons look much sleeker, and I don't think they're gonna clip in anymore. I think they're just gonna snap on.
I'm wondering if they're sticking with every Joy-Con being black and then just having the accents.
You're right. The color was kind of a big thing. People love collecting the colorful Joy-Cons. So yeah, it is a...
Yeah, you just click it in now and instead of just sliding the Joy-Con.
snapping feature. So I wonder how secure that's going to be. As far as like children and everything.
Yeah.
It really is just called the Nintendo Switch 2. That's surprising.
I was rooting for Super Switch.
That's gonna snap right into the same, looks like the same holster it had for the OG one. Which it was fine. It was okay, tolerable, but I don't think it was comfortable by any means.
Yeah, I mean it's included in with the console. I'm sure it's just.
Hold on, wait. This is plays Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games as well as Nintendo Switch games. Okay, but Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive clearly won't work on the OG Switch.
Just like the PlayStation 5.
And clearly, judging by this picture here, it's obviously, like I said, I don't think they've confirmed anything on screen size, but you can clearly see this looks much bigger.
Now, it also says here certain Nintendo Switch games may not be supported on or fully compatible with the Nintendo Switch 2. So not every game, and it probably needs to get ported. I don't know.
That's weird. I wonder what games will not be supported by the Switch 2. Like, what games would you own that wouldn't be supported? I think, yeah, this is pretty... So 4-2. Nintendo Switch Direct. Looks like they're going to be announcing the rest of it. A couple months away. Anything else they have to say? Nope, that's it.
That's it, man. About a minute and a half.
That's it. That's all they got.
Oh, 2 minutes. Excuse me, 2 minutes and a half.
There you have it. Cold Beer. What do you think? What are your initial thoughts after seeing, like you said, they didn't really reveal much. It's just kind of some clips, some images. What do you think? It clearly, like I said, the main thing I took away from that is it's much bigger. That clearly, like I said, that image at the end looks like it's much bigger. So, like I said, what do you think, I guess?
Man, it's hard to gauge with what little information we have, but I mean, overall, it looks nicer. I mean, it's a bigger screen, which is always nicer, and it doesn't look much thicker. So hopefully, it's just as lightweight as the first one. The Joy-Cons are a nice change. I like the accents instead of the whole color. I prefer it because, I guess I don't have a reason. I just think it looks nicer.
No, I
What about you?
agree. Yeah, I completely agree with you. Like you said, honestly, when the Switch, I was actually on launch night. I was in line to get the Switch originally on launch night, and I had the choice between the colored, and I bought the gray one just because I prefer the gray one. So, like you said, I think going with the all gray and just kind of the colored accents is better. In my opinion, I think it looks much sleeker, the all black. But at the same time, as I mentioned in the video, I think the colorful Joy-Cons were really sought after, and like especially like the Animal Crossing ones, and I'm sure a couple of the Pokemon ones, and some of the other ones are pretty sought after and were actually pretty popular.
Well, I was gonna say it's a big selling point for even the PlayStation now, like the PlayStation 5, how they sell different covers for it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people like to collect them and change the way they look and, match whatever curtains you have up.
Exactly, like you said, people just like to kind of match their decor and everything like that, match their aesthetic. There's tons of different PlayStation controllers out now. There's actually the new like chroma green one I was looking at not too long ago that I really like and looks pretty cool. So I'm sure eventually they're going to come out with different colored Joy-Cons for the new ones. This is probably just the initial launch for doing the gray.
The original Switch also had different backs, right? Like, not something you can change, but like, wasn't there like a version of like Breath of the Wild that came out where it was etched in the back?
Yeah, like you said, I'm pretty sure like special editions that came with the different colored Joy-Cons had, like you said, like there's a Pokemon one with different like Pokemon etching in the back, and Zelda one with etching in the back. You're correct. Like the actual Switch console had etching in the back of it. So I'm sure they're eventually going to do certain things like that with this as well. But you also mentioned it looks very slim as well, which honestly is one of my favorite things about the Switch. I still prefer my Steam Deck and my PlayStation Portal because it's kind of slim and feels nice. And I like all my handhelds for different reasons. I like I said, my Steam Deck. I like being able to play my Steam games and cloud saves directly on my Steam Deck, and then I like my PlayStation, because again, PlayStation games, blah blah blah. But the Steam Deck or the Switch, sometimes like Stardew Valley, I can play it on my Steam Deck, but I prefer it on the Switch just because it's much more lighter, easier in the hands, and as you mentioned, the Switch 2 looks just as light, or just as thin, and hopefully just as light and easy on the hands as its predecessor, because also I know that the Switch is designed mostly for kids, and obviously kids have smaller hands, smaller arms, stuff like that, so they're probably going to be keeping it on the lighter side, as opposed to, like I said, the Steam Deck or some of the stuff we previewed in our last video, the Acer Nitro Blaze that's 11 inches. And
that's right.
Yeah, there's, like I said, there's the handheld market is getting pretty intense right now, and I think it's good. Like I said, we went from having basically the Nintendo Switch to then the Steam Deck, and now we have a plethora of different handheld devices that do different types of things. We have some just for cloud gaming, some for direct hardware, and then, like I said, we have like the new tablet-sized gaming tablets coming out. So I think having more portable gaming devices out in the market is a good thing. I'm really excited to see what Nintendo Switch does. And again, like, you buy a Nintendo Switch to play Nintendo games. That's the bottom line. Nobody buys a Nintendo Switch to go play Doom or
Call of Duty or whatever. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So you buy it to play first-party games, and that's, like I said, the biggest selling point with the Nintendo Switch. And I think the very first big game that's going to be a Switch 2 exclusive is going to be the new Pokemon Z to A, or whatever they're calling it, which I am a huge Pokemon fan. I have a whole Pokemon, I don't know if I can even say this, but Magikarp sleeve. I'm a diehard Pokemon fan. So I'm excited for it. I will kind of be disappointed if it's a Switch 2 exclusive. I think, like I said, with how big of a game that is, it should be on both consoles, again, just to be more widely available. But I also understand that they need a selling point for their new console, and that is probably going to be it, more than likely. Sorry,
you'd think so, but I was gonna say that same thing happened with the Wii U and the Nintendo Switch, the original Nintendo Switch with Breath of the Wild. That was released on both of them.
Yeah, you're actually right.
I don't think it'll necessarily be exclusive, because there's always that, if you want your game to sell good or sell well, you need to sell it to people that have a console already. Obviously, a big buying point would be the game, but if they want the game to do really good, then they have to release it on already released hardware.
That is a great point. I honestly totally forgot that Breath of the Wild came out on the Wii U, so that's actually a really good point. And like you said, with how big of a game Pokemon is, they probably will release it on both, like you said, because they want to sell it to as many people as possible. So it's actually a really valid argument.
I hope it doesn't turn into like a PlayStation 5 type and they release every game for it. I don't want the games to be held back by the original Switch. But that's probably later in the future.
That's a good point too, and that's what I was just going to say. Is I know with the biggest criticism with the last Pokemon game was the graphics. The Pokemon Scarlet and Violet series, the game was actually really good. It was open world. It was a lot of fun. Catching Pokemon was a lot of fun. It was just the graphics. The Switch could not keep up with the open world, and there was a lot of lag, a lot of frame drop. And again, I know you don't buy a Switch for the incredible graphics, but at the same time, it was kind of hard to ignore like some of the graphical deficiencies in that game. So, like as you just pointed out, I hope that the trying to keep it on both consoles doesn't limit the game as to the full potential of what the graphics could be. But as we say with every video, we'll just have to wait and see, because there isn't even a full trailer for the new Pokemon game yet. So we'll have to wait and see what other kind of games that they release with the Switch 2. Do you have any predictions, like what other games could be releasing with the Switch 2?
I mean, I know the team that worked on the latest Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, is already working on something new, so looking forward to that.
That's interesting. So yeah, it's almost been 2 years since Tears of the Kingdom. That's honestly hard to believe too. But yeah, that's another question. Are they going to keep Zelda in the same engine, or are they going to try to switch it up and do something different for the Switch 2?
I mean, they showed gameplay of Mario Kart, and it shows a wider track than the usual game. So maybe this is also a new entry title.
I've also been hearing a lot of rumors about an Animal Crossing sequel coming out. Because the last update for Animal Crossing New Horizons came out years ago. But like you said, probably around the same time as the Zelda, or like May 2023. But yeah, I remember them saying this was the last official update for the game. Like they're still supporting it, but that was like the last big expansion update, whatever. And they weren't really going to do too much. So, and I've heard again a lot of rumors that a new Animal Crossing announcement is going to be on the way, and it's probably going to be a Switch 2. I don't know if it's going to be a release date exclusive, but it's definitely going to be a Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive. So we will see. Like I said, as far as day one exclusives, like you said, definitely some type of Mario game, whether it's a new Mario Odyssey type game or like a 2D type Mario type platformer. I definitely see some type of Mario game coming out, and possibly
like Odyssey.
Yeah.
2.
Odyssey 2 would be cool. Which I think Donkey Kong Country came out yesterday, whenever this video releases, but came out on the 16th. Donkey Kong Country Returns just came out, and that might be one of the last major games for the Switch. Like I said, I don't really know what's coming ahead for the Switch in terms of releases, but that may be the last big one for the OG Switch in terms of first-person games anyway. So, but yeah, I guess, like I said, I'm excited for the Switch 2. As I mentioned before, I think more handhelds in the game are better for everyone. More competition is better for everyone. Cold Beer, do you have any last thoughts on the, again, Nintendo Switch 2? Do you think it's a dumb name? Because personally, I think that's a dumb name. I don't know. What are your final thoughts on the Switch 2? Like you said, as we have very little information.
I think it's fine. The name. Usually it's nice, and what's nice to keep the 1, 2, 3 order and release. Because you start throwing in a Xbox One or an Xbox Series X and it starts getting confusing.
That is true. Yeah, like I said, it is just weird with Nintendo, because I don't think, like I said, the closest thing they would have to a sequel console would be the Wii U. And even then, like I said, they've had many iterations of the Game Boy. They've had many iterations of the 3DS. They even called it the new 3DS at one point. Just, I don't know, they never called anything just the 2, 3. So it's kind of interesting to actually see Nintendo just go with the straight up sequel model. But like you said, we have with PlayStation 5 at this point, and people seem to like that. So maybe just stick with the
With what works, yeah.
Exactly. But all right, I think that is going to do it. Those are our thoughts on the Nintendo Switch 2. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. As always, be sure to like and subscribe, all that other nonsense. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. See ya.
Bye.